Hello everyone, if you'd like to join me for this energizing, gentle Vinyasa Flow, feel free. If anything doesn't feel right in your body, please know this is your practice. Skip anything you like, okay? Try not to force and just take your time. If you do want to join me, I do recommend having a couple of blocks and a strap. Not necessary, but it may be helpful. So we're going to begin either in child's pose, or if that doesn't work for you for any reason, you can also lie on your belly in crocodile. Either way. I prefer crocodile, but child's pose is fine as well. And then finding a nice soft breath, ujjayi breath. And allow the breath to move into the back and side body. If you know ujjayi, ocean-sounding breath, please feel free to use that. If that's still new to you, and just allow the breath to be smooth and deep. I do have a video on ujjayi, ocean-sounding breath, and I will link that in the comments below. And then if you are in child's pose, go ahead and make your way onto your belly. Just do that bug. And then I'm going to bend the knees, just making some circles with the ankles. And then going the other way. And then making our way onto hands and knees. Hey, buddy. Then we're going to do some cat-cows to warm up the spine. Inhale as we lift the sit bones and arch the spine. Exhale as we round. Hello. Inhaling as we arch. Exhale as we round. Inhale as we arch. And exhale as we round. And then come to a neutral spine and just wagging your tail, like as if you were a dog wagging your tail. And then taking the feet together, knees still separated. Mwah! Then we're going to make some circles with the hips. Nice big circles. Just move in a way that feels good to you. If anything, again, doesn't feel right, you can skip. And if you do need to skip and take rest, just focus on the breath for a few moments. And then going the other way. Still a bug, kitty nap me. And then coming back to hands and knees, and then neutral spine. Drawing the belly in, taking the right foot back. Draw the lower belly in now, stabilize the pelvis. And then we'll take the right foot about hip high, and taking the left arm forward if you like, as if you're trying to shake somebody's hand for bird dog pose. Mr. Love Bug. And then exhale as we release. I'm going to change sides. Taking the left leg back, drawing the lower belly in, stabilizing the pelvis, stabilizing the low back, and then taking the left foot to about hip high, pressing out to the heel, and then taking, if you like, the right arm forward, as if you're trying to shake somebody's hand. It's optional. You can keep the hand on the floor if you prefer. Honor your body. And then exhale as we release. Okay, then coming into a downward facing dog, curling the toes under and lifting the hips up and back for your downward dog. And if you like, you can kind of walk your dog, lower one heel as you bend the opposite knee, just going side to side. And then lowering both heels. And then slowly walking your feet forward, taking your time, feet hips width apart. And then folding forward here, clasping the elbow with the opposite hand. You can bend the knees a bit here if you like. Let the head sway side to side, like you're saying no, and then like you're saying yes. And taking the hands to the thighs and slowly coming up to a standing position. Okay, so we're going to take some half sun salutations. Mr. Lovebug, I got to practice, buddy. Beep, 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 beep. Thank you, buddy. So taking the hands in front of the heart, inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. And exhale as we fold forward again. You can bend the knees here if you like. And inhaling, coming halfway up, hands on shins. Exhale, fold. Coming up to standing. Inhale, raising the arms out and up. And then exhale, lowering the arms out and down, back to hand position in front of the heart. Inhale, sweeping out and up. Exhale as we fold. Inhaling halfway up, hands on shins. Reach the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, coming up to standing. Raise the arms out and up. And then exhale, lowering the arms, hands in front of the heart. Now here, if you like, you could take your blocks and place them next to your feet. If you like to use them when you do the lunges, feel free to use that. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. And exhale as we fold, either hands on the shins or if you like, on the blocks. Then inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold, and stepping the right foot back to a high lunge. Nice deep breath. So we want to press back to that right heel as we lift the right thigh. So this back leg is nice and strong. And the left knee is right above the ankle. And then on your next exhale, you could put the blocks to the side if you like, and then taking the left foot back to a downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward to a plank position. Feel free to be on the knees here if that feels better to you. It's perfectly fine. And then on your next exhale, lower the knees, if you haven't already, the hips, the belly, upper body, all the way down. And preparing for cobra, roll the shoulder blades down the back, press the tops of the feet into the floor. And then inhale, reaching your heart forward and up as you draw the hands down and back. Elbows reach back and towards one another a bit. And then on your next exhale, gently lower, press back the hands and knees, and downward facing dog. And on your next inhale, stepping your right foot forward. And if you like, you could place blocks underneath the hands. Optional. But the left thigh lifts strongly as we press back to the heel, spine nice and long. Right knee right over the ankle. And then inhale, stepping forward with the left foot, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling up to standing, raise the arms, gaze towards the hands, and exhale, lower the arms. One more round. Inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Exhale as we fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, fold, stepping the left foot back to a high lunge. And then on your next exhale, stepping the right foot back to a plank position. Holding this for a moment. Again, feel free to come onto your knees if you like. And then exhale, lower the knees, hips, upper body all the way down. Hands under the shoulders, inhaling cobra. And this time, if you like, you can also raise the right leg and breathe. Top of the thigh point straight down. And exhale, lower the right leg. Inhale, raise the left. Optional. You can keep both feet on the floor if you like. And then exhale, lowering the left leg. Now, either staying in low cobra, or if it feels good to you, you can gently press to a higher cobra. Elbows draw in. Exhale as we lower. And then press back to hands and knees and downward dog. The pelvis, the hips reach up and back. Get as much length in the spine as you can. If the back is rounding in the low back, maybe bend the knees a bit and lift the sit bones up and back. And then on your next inhale, step your left foot forward. And you can put the blocks under the hands, which are optional. And inhale, stepping the right foot forward, coming halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling up to standing, raise the arms, gaze towards the hands, and then exhale, lower the hands in front of the heart. I'm going to take chair pose, Utkatasana. So bringing the hips back and down. Heart lifts, heart reaches forward. Try not to collapse here or around the low back. You want to stick your butt back a little bit and reach the heart forward. If you like, you can keep your hands in front of the heart, or you can raise the arms, which is optional. And breathing deeply. So the weight is more in the heels. And then exhale, take the hands in front of the heart, straighten the legs, and then fold. Inhaling, coming halfway up, hands on the floor or on blocks. And then exhale, we're going to step our left foot back, lower the left heel in and down, and inhale, warrior one. And breathing deeply, and just spin the belly and the rib cage to face forward. Pressing into the outer edge of the left foot. Feel a little lift in the inner thigh. And then we're going to go into warrior two. Exhale, rotate the belly and the rib cage towards the left. And taking the right arm forward, the left arm back. And then exhale, windmilling both hands to the floor. And stepping the right foot back to a downward facing dog. And then inhale, come forward to a plank position. Lower the knees. Imagine there's a line going down the center of your mat. And you're going to, with your arms and legs, kind of hug that center line. We're going to shift forward, so we're in a plank position, but on the knees. Keep hugging that center line. Look forward a little bit. Shoulder blades move down the back. And we're just going to do these little dips that help prepare us for chaturangas later on. So hug the elbows in. And then we're just going to dip a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. One more. Exhale down. Inhale up. And then if you like, bringing the pelvis forward for an upward dog. Lifting the knees, pressing the feet into the floor. And then exhale, hands and knees to downward dog. Then inhaling, stepping the feet forward. Take your time, feet hips width apart, coming halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, coming up to standing, raise the arms out and up. And then exhale, hands down in front of the heart. Bringing the hips back and down for chair, Utkatasana. Again, you can either keep your hands in front of the heart, or if you like, you can extend the arms, palms facing towards one another. And then exhale, hands in front of the heart, press into the feet to straighten the legs and fold. Inhaling halfway up, either hands on the shins, the floor, or a block, and stepping the right foot back. Lower the heel in and down. And inhale, coming up to warrior one. And breathing deeply. If you don't like to look up, if that doesn't feel good for your neck, just look forward. Just keep the hands shoulder width apart. Palms facing towards one another. But allow the belly to engage and spin, rotate the belly and the rib cage to face forward. And then exhale, warrior two. Spin the belly and rib cage to the right. So this left thigh is externally rotating. The knees are tracking in line with the toes. Left arm forward, right arm back. And breathe. And then exhaling, we're going to windmill both hands to the floor and step the left foot back, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Lower the knees. Hug the center line. Exhale, we're going to dip. So draw the shoulder blades down the back, look forward a bit, and hug the elbows in as you come down about halfway. And then inhale, roll the shoulders open, coming into your upward dog, if you like. And then exhaling, hands and knees to downward dog. And inhale, extend the right leg back nice and long. If it feels like it's too much to do this from hands and knees, from downward dog, you can do this from hands and knees as well. And then inhale, stepping the right foot forward. If it doesn't come all the way, you can kind of grab it. And then we're going to step that left foot, the back foot forward an inch or two, and then draw that right hip back as we fold over the right leg. And again, you could take blocks under the hands here if you like. We're actually preparing for triangle pose. So rotating the left heel in and down. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine, reach the heart forward, lengthen the arms. And then draw the belly in and rotate the belly towards the left, rotating your belly and rib cage towards the left and raising the left arm. You can either look to the side, or if it's comfortable to look towards the left hand, fine. If not, just look to the side. You can even look down if that feels better for your neck. And then exhale, we're going to take both hands to the floor and step the right foot back to downward dog. And breathe. If you like chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, feel free to take that. And inhale, extend the left leg and breathe, keeping the hips level. Then inhale, taking the left foot forward. If it doesn't make it all the way, you can grab it and bring it forward. You could put blocks under the hands here if you like. And then step your back foot forward just an inch or two. And then draw the left hip back and fold over the left leg. And spinning your back heel, your right heel in and down. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen the spine, reach the heart forward, lengthen the arms. And then rotate your belly and rib cage towards the right and raising the right arm. Breathing deeply, pressing strongly into both feet so the legs are strong and active. And then exhale, lowering the right arm, lifting the back heel, and stepping the left foot back to downward facing dog. If you like chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, feel free. And then exhale, come on down to the knees. So we're on hands and knees, taking the left foot back with the foot on the floor, and then rotate the left heel in and down. Now you can take your right foot out to the right a little bit if you like, for like a little kickstand. We're going to do a side arm balance variation here. So the right hand is right under the shoulder, maybe slightly forward of it. And then we're going to draw the belly in, push into the hand, lift up out of the shoulder, and then rotating, whoops, and then rotating the belly and the rib cage towards the left and raising the left arm. Now, if your right foot is out to the side like a kickstand, it will actually help with balance. Over time, you might take the right foot to point straight back if that feels accessible. But continue to push that floor away from you. So we feel the side body engage a little bit. And then exhale and release. And we're going to change sides, taking the right foot back, rotate the heel in and down. Left foot can go out to the left a little bit. Left hand is slightly forward of the shoulder. Push into that hand, lift up out of that shoulder, draw the belly in, and then rotate the belly and rib cage towards the right and raising the right arm. So having that left foot out to the left a little bit like a kickstand helps with balance, helps support you. But over time, if you like, you can take the left foot to point straight back towards the right heel or towards the back of your mat. But really push the floor away from you so you're waking up the side body, strengthening the side body. And then exhale as we release the right hand, taking the left foot, right knee back to the floor rather, and then downward facing dog. Come on down to the knees, taking the feet and the knees together, sitting on the heels. Inhale, raise the left arm up. Exhale, little side stretch to the right. Inhaling back up, changing arms. Exhale, little side stretch to the left. Inhaling back up. Exhale, rotate the belly and rib cage to the right. Nice little spinal twist here. Don't force the neck, okay? Just let the neck rotate to a comfortable position. And then exhale, release, changing sides. So the right hand's on the outside of the left knee, left hand behind you, grow tall, lengthen the spine. And exhale, rotating to the left. And then exhale as we release the rotation. Coming back to hands and knees. And then take the right knee forward and maybe the foot in a little bit for pigeon pose. Taking the left leg back. And breathing deeply. If you like, you could put something underneath this right hip and keep the hips level. Another option here is to kind of come off to your right side completely and let your left knee go out to the side as well. So that's another option. If that feels better, that's fine. A third option is actually to lie on your back and practice this figure 4 position instead. That's perfectly fine, okay? So you choose what feels best for you. If you aren't pigeon, feel free to stay upright, or if you like, which will give you more of a stretch in the front of that left hip, the back hip. Otherwise, if you like to come forward, feel free. And then inhaling, taking the hands under the shoulders as you come back up. And exhale, downward facing dog. If you like chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, feel free. Otherwise, being happy with downward dog. And then exhale, come on down to the knees and take the left knee forward for pigeon on the other side. Or again, lie on your back and do figure 4. Or you can come off to this side. That's okay too. Off to the left hip. So there are 2 positions here if you're in the pigeon pose. One is keeping the hips level and kind of reaching back a little bit so we're getting a nice stretch in the front of that right hip. And then if you like, exhale, folding forward. Which gets more of the outer left hip. And then inhale, taking the hands under the shoulders and gently coming back up. And exhale, downward facing dog. If you like chaturanga, upward dog, downward dog, feel free. If not, feel free to stay with your downward dog. And then making our way onto our backs in any way that you like. Onto our backs with the knees bent and the feet hips width apart. And just have your strap somewhere where you can reach it. Arms down by the sides, feet hips width apart. We're going to come into bridge. So draw the backs of the arms and the backs of the shoulders towards the floor. Press your heels into the floor to help lift the hips. And if you like, you can either keep your arms down by the sides or you can interlace your fingers and draw your shoulder blades towards one another. Optional. And then exhale, releasing the hands and gently come down, one vertebra at a time, nice and slow. And just rest for a moment. And then preparing for a knee down twist. So extending the left leg with the foot on the floor, right knee bent. And then we're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left hip and taking the right knee across for a knee down twist. Right arm out to the right. Inhale back to center, and then we'll change sides. So first adjust the hips, so you have a nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And then extending the right leg with the foot on the floor. Roll onto the outer edge of the right hip and taking the left knee across. And left arm out to the left. And then inhale, bringing the left knee back. Taking both feet to the floor and adjust the hips. You have a nice neutral spine, neutral pelvis. And then taking a strap around the right foot and the right leg. Extending the leg up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Exhale and release, and changing sides, taking the strap around the left foot and extending the left leg up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, take both feet into the strap. And breathe. And then holding the very ends of the strap and taking the feet nice and wide. And then inhale, bring the feet back together. Bend the knees and then releasing the strap. And preparing for relaxation pose. So taking a few moments, if you'd like to place a blanket over you to stay warm, feel free to do that. If there's anything you'd like to make this more comfortable, take a moment to do so. And let go of any effort in the breath. Softening, relaxing the muscles in the face. Feel the back of the neck relaxing and lengthening. Softening, relaxing the belly and the low back. Relaxing the hips, the legs, and the feet. And just take rest for a few moments here. I'll come back in a few moments to lead you out, but for now, take rest. And now beginning to come back, maybe deepening the breath and wiggling the fingers and toes gently. And then on your next inhalation, just give yourself a nice stretch. Bring your arms up and back and make yourself as long as you can. Lengthening the back body. And exhale as we release, drawing both knees in towards the chest, giving them a gentle hug, maybe swaying side to side to massage the low back. And then coming onto your right side and resting here for a moment. You can use your upper arm as a pillow. And then gently coming up to a seated position. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.